Thank you, Dr. Pandit. May I now request our chief guest, Honorable Minister Shri Piyush Goyal, to address us.
Thank you very much, Nayan Bhai. Very distinguished Dr. Mohan Bhai Patel, former Sheriff of Mumbai, an icon in the city, a person we have all looked up to for many years, and a great patron of the science and technology and developments and innovation. Somebody, I think, who is helping demonstrate to the world the importance of this important field. Professor M.M. Sharma from the UD City. We were just exchanging notes. My mother used to represent the area where UD City is located. And I know of some of the very illustrious work that has happened in UD City over many years. But I was very impressed that as chairman of the advisory board, he puts in so much effort in this great initiative to recognize such eminent scientists, such innovators, such high-performing awardees that we have today. It's a very painstaking task. It involves a lot of effort to locate where the best technological research is going on, and I must compliment you, Professor Sharma, for all your hard work. Dr. A.B. Pandit, who very beautifully explained all the innovative work which has made India proud and all of us Indians proud. Thank you very much for the excellent introductions you gave to each of these innovations. My good friend Nayan Bhai Patel, somebody with whom I think over the last 20 odd years I have built a very deep friendship, a very strong bond of understanding, and somebody who could get me here today in the midst of Delhi elections. And I don't know what will happen when I go back and have to answer my president where I was the whole day. But truly, I think it was more than Nayan, it was the excitement of meeting these eminent scientists, these innovators, the persons who really are the backbone of the future of India. And I must compliment each and every one of the awardees today and compliment them from the bottom of my heart for your wonderful work. Your achievements make us proud, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, your effort and the fact that this institution, the Vasvik Awards, are recognizing such eminent scientists, such illustrious patrons of science and technology, I think is probably one of the best programs I've come to since I became a minister. We have several distinguished leaders of Mumbai over here. We have a very eminent minister from Iceland. I welcome you, sir. I see a lot of friends here. Gul, I see Rajesh Bhai, my very, very senior leader, guide and philosopher, Jayantiben Mehta, who has been a source of inspiration to all of us youngsters in the party. I've known her ever since I was a little child and looked up to her leadership, looked up to her guidance, and have been always a big fan of her sincerity, the way she has conducted herself in public life with the highest levels of integrity and work for the service of the nation. Jayantiben, we are very proud of you. आपका आशीर्वाद बना रहे हम पे, आपका मार्गदर्शन मिलता रहे, ऐसे भगवान से कामना करते हैं. Ladies and gentlemen, and I see a lot of young children here who I believe are the budding scientists of tomorrow. And I must wish all of you a very, very bright future ahead. मैं देख रहा था कि मोहन भाई आपके इंस्टीट्यूशन का नाम है पटेल एक्सट्रूजन ग्रुप, PEG, PEG, और आज वास्तव में ये आपकी जो संस्था है और जो आज वास्विक अवार्ड्स आपने दिए हैं, ये एक तरीके से एक पेग है जो भारत के विकास को, भारत के भविष्य को जोड़ता है साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ। और मैं समझता हूं कि अगर हम भारत का भविष्य उज्जवल देखना चाहते हैं, विकास की दौर पे भारत को तेजी से बढ़ते हुए देखना चाहते हैं, तो बाकी सब तो काम होता रहेगा। हमने बहुत सारे अवार्ड प्रोग्राम्स किए हैं, बड़े बड़े फिल्म स्टार्स और औद्योगिक कैप्टन्स ऑफ इंडस्ट्री, इकोनॉमिस्ट, सबका सम्मान किया है। और मैं समझता हूं मंत्री बनने के बाद शायद दिन में 2-3 इनविटेशंस आते हैं अवार्ड फंक्शंस के लिए। मैं कई बार तो आश्चर्य करता हूं कि इतने सारे अवार्ड फंक्शंस में कैसे लोग जा सकते हैं। लेकिन मुझे लगता है जो साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी को रिकॉग्नाइज करे, एन अवार्ड विच brings to the fore the pride of India, the fact that these ladies and gentlemen in their science labs day in and day out have persevered to bring out the latest and the best technological innovations, and to award them, I think, is a matter of pride, not only for me but for each one of us assembled here and for Mumbai. एक अवार्ड अगर आप ऐड कर दें अगले वर्ष तो थोड़ा मुझे भी और आनंद होगा। मैं समझता हूं सोलर का तो अवार्ड आज दिया गया आपके सिलेक्शन द्वारा, पर एक फोकस्ड अवार्ड रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, न्यू एनर्जी मेथड्स के लिए, जिससे प्रोत्साहन मिले। मेरे मंत्रालय में न्यू एंड रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी दोनों आते हैं। तो मैं समझता हूं अगर जो नए नए विशेष बिजली बनाने के नए टेक्नोलॉजीज को भी हम प्रोत्साहन दें, तो मेरी मिनिस्ट्री आपके साथ पार्टनर करने के लिए बहुत खुश होगी और हम मिलके एक अवार्ड इंस्टीट्यूट करें जो नवीकरण ऊर्जा के लिए, न्यू एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज इन द फील्ड ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, पावर, तो और एक नया अवार्ड जरूर ऐड होगा। आपने भाई साहब कहा कि लंबा समय खड़े रहने के लिए धन्यवाद। मैं समझता हूं ये समय तो कुछ भी नहीं है। जिस प्रकार से हमारे साइंटिस्ट दिन और रात खड़े रहे होंगे अपनी लैबोरेटरीज में और जिस मेहनत और निष्ठा के साथ लगे होंगे इन टेक्नोलॉजीज को सामने लाने के लिए, उसके सामने ये तो एक बूंद भी नहीं हो सकती है पूरे ओशन में। और वास्तव में इन 30-35 साइंटिस्ट के अलावा जो हजारों सैकड़ों बाकी टेक्नोक्रेट्स लगे हैं, दिनों रात मेहनत कर रहे हैं, द अनसंग हीरोज ऑफ इंडिया साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजीज, आई थिंक recognition of all those unsung heroes will also be very important, because the future of India is in their hands. The future of India is related to their work. उल्टे मुझे अभी याद आ रहा है, प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने एक कैबिनेट मीटिंग में विषय उजागर किया था कि हम सभी मंत्री अपने अपने विभागों में एफर्ट करें कैसे भारत भी इनोवेशन के प्रति जा सके, कैसे भारतीय साइंटिस्ट को डोमेस्टिक रिसर्च में प्रोत्साहन मिले। एंड वी नीड नॉट एक्सपोर्ट ऑल आवर ब्रेन्स टू नासा एंड इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस। व्हाई शुड CERN गेट द बेनिफिट इन यूरोप by the knowledge and expertise of our Indian scientists? Why should NASA be benefited by all our expertise? Why can we not look at India as the hub for future technology and development? And in that sense, such awards will be a great encouragement for all of us in this field. I remember the words of Prime Minister. He had said India should not follow the world. India should lead the world when it comes to science and technology. और एक इंटरैक्शन में एक बार मुझे पूछा गया, कुछ टेक्निकल लोगों के साथ इंटरैक्शन हो रहा था, जिसमें मेरे से पूछा गया, व्हाट इज योर बजट फॉर रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट? And I still remember I was sitting on the desk and I mentioned I have no budget for research and development. And ekdam sannata cha gaya. The whole audience was kind of quiet. Jesus, this minister must be a complete idiot that he has no budget for research and development. And I told the scientists gathered there that a budget is a restraining factor. A budget is created when you have a limit to what is available for research and development. In the government led by Prime Minister Modi, I can assure all of you, ladies and gentlemen, there is no limitation on what we can spend for research and development. Every project which can bring in new technologies, better ways to do work, better ways to meet the aspirations of 1 billion people, newer technologies which can help us leapfrog into the most modern way to serve Indian people, are welcome, are encouraged, and we are yearning for more. We want you to do more. We want the scientific community to explore newer horizons of technology. I believe there is no budget, there is no restraint. The sky is the budget for research and development. Please venture to do more. I would urge all IITians, I would urge all technical institutes, to go forward, explore whatever it takes, even if it means a complete loss. After all, out of maybe 100 research projects, one may fructify. But that one would create a $6.5 billion enterprise like we just heard. That one could create a new technology, which I hope I can now share with Harsimrat Badal Kaur, my Minister for Food and Food Processing, and maybe bring a change to the lives of the farmers of India, who are suffering from inadequate cold storages, who are suffering from their produce not getting the best value for lack of ability to hold on to their produce for long. All of these technologies are going to become path breakers, path setters, and I was very delighted when Nayan Bhai told me that each of these awardees have created technologies which are applied in real life. These are all applied sciences who are being recognized today. Though I, for one, have absolutely no problem in recognizing and acknowledging even those who have not probably succeeded. But that is the beauty of science. That is the beauty of innovation. The effort is to be credited. The effort is to be recognized. The effort is to be appreciated. Obviously, there will be some who will be exceedingly and wonderfully successful. We recognize them, we appreciate them, we honor them. But we also must have a word of honor, a word of appreciation for each one of those who may not have been equally successful. I would urge them to continue in the pursuit of newer technologies, new sciences. And I can assure you, this government stands before you wanting more and more science and technology to prosper in this country, to flourish in India. Any projects that you can flag off with me are welcome. We have an excellent Minister for Science and Technology, who's passionate in his job. Both he and his Minister of State have often shared with me newer ideas. I remember somebody from the US, the Dean of Harvard Business School the other day, flagged off a technology for fusion research to use thorium for nuclear energy. And I immediately set up a meeting with the Secretary of Science and Technology, Dr. Sinha. I remember that meeting took place at some ungodly hour at 11:30 or something in the night, where we were exchanging notes with the Science and Technology Department and the person who had developed that technology. Well, it was not fruitful. It seems that technology was tried and tested and may not be practical, but I did not mind. I was happy for that 1 hour I had spent with the secretary and the research team, because I thought that somewhere there is a hidden technology which will help us to exploit our thorium reserves and possibly develop clean energy for India. I was just sharing with Professor Sharma that that's one area that I'm personally very keen and looking forward to research. When I heard about the good work that Kudankulam scientists have done, that BARC has done, that continues to be done in the areas of nuclear research, I'm very, very eagerly looking forward to some progress on the thorium as a fuel for power generation. I think that will be very akin to the day when shale gas came into America and changed the dynamics of their energy security. Probably thorium will provide us that energy security that this country is very much looking for. In fact, I remember Dr. Anil Kakotkar, the very illustrious scientist and erstwhile chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission, had once mentioned to me in the course of lunch And that lunch was full of scientists. I think there were 4 or 5 directors of IITs and very eminent scientists with whom I was spending 3 or 4 hours. And I must share with you what that discussion was. The 3 or 4 hours we spent emanated from a conversation which I had with Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala of IIT Chennai, if some of you may have known him. He had been an old friend and said, I have to discuss a new technology. So we actually flew from Mumbai to Delhi together. He flew in from Chennai. We met at the airport and flew to Delhi, where he explained to me a new technology he's working on, by which we could provide a separate line into every home, which would be a DC line, a DC circuit. The idea was, even if there is a blackout, where the power goes off, there's load shedding or there's a shortage of power, this second line, which would be a DC line, would continue to function so that at least the LED lights and some fans and all can work. So instead of converting DC to AC and converting fans and lights from AC to DC, we would actually have a separate feeder line giving DC circuit. I'm not a technical person, तो कुछ गलत बोल रहा हूँ तो माफ करिएगा. अच्छा भला चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट था, पता नहीं कहाँ पहुँच गया. But what DC circuit say, he said, we can guarantee कि कभी भी बिजली पूरी तरीके से नहीं जाएगी. The home will always be well lit and at least have a fan. And a lot of appliances, our mobile phones for instance, they are basically DC instruments. So we are converting DC to AC and then again AC to DC when we are charging this mobile and losing a lot of energy in the process. And when you multiply that by 600 million mobiles being charged every day, and incidentally, how do we charge it? रात को लगाते हैं और सुबह निकालते हैं, which is a big wastage of